Hello everyone. Welcome to the long incoming promised TeruShou wedding special. Slightly later than I wanted, but we are still on time. I hope you are looking forward to seeing more of our lovely boys getting there. Happy ever after. As always, special thanks to my lovely patrons and all of you who still watch my videos. Don't forget to subscribe to keep up with the uploads and check out the members only posts. Are you sure it's necessary to change after a ceremony? Of course! You gotta show off a little. Yeah, can't miss out the opportunity when our brother is marrying someone as handsome as you. Dasha wanted to protest. Note that Terushima and he were already going to be the center of attention the whole day, and there was no need to show off. But the sheer enthusiasm of the two was difficult to fight against. It seemed that the lively personality ran through the Terushima bloodline, and he couldn't help himself but be swayed along. Although he couldn't complain in the slightest. The two women seemed to take liking in him the moment they met for the first time a week ago, and even though they insisted on dragging him along the whole day to buy another suit to change into for the reception, they were so gentle with him he couldn't find a single reason to refuse their help. It was actually really nice to be pampered like this, especially when his sister called him a few days ago almost in tears, apologizing for her absence since she was out of the country. You think Yuji wants to show me off? Of course he does! He's been on cloud 9 ever since you accepted the proposal. Soft smile curled Riko's lips. We are happy you two found each other. I don't think I've ever seen Yuji this excited, and that says something. Right. So our task is to make sure everyone will get jealous of him having you. That's not necessary. It's just our families and a few friends. They don't need to be jealous. The last thing they needed on their big day was some drama. He gently ran his hand over the soft fabric of the suit he planned to wear tomorrow, his heart speeding up in anticipation and more than a little nerves. This one is enough. Alright, but you still should have a backup one. You know, in case something unexpected happened. People are clumsy. What if someone spills something on you? Or the weather gets bad. It says it might rain tomorrow. Dasha stilled. Wait, really? But it was supposed to be sunny. The ceremony is outside. What if... Shh. Settle down. I'm sure it's going to be fine. The rain's supposed to come in the evening. Everyone will be inside by then. She gently rubbed his shoulder, sending jolts through his skin. Don't worry about it, okay? And about anything else. Letting out a shaky breath, Dasha nodded, only now realizing how much his chest hurt from holding his breath and his racing heart. He tried not to be nervous since he had no reason to be, but despite the sister's distractions, he couldn't stop his mind from straying sometimes. And here he thought he was past doubting Terushima's decision to marry him. A light brush against his cheek snapped him back into the present, to be met with the most familiar smile. Everything's going to be perfect, you'll see. Sure, it's not going to be easy every day with our dumbass of a brother, but he means well. And he loves you more than anything. Right, that was the case, wasn't it? Yuji always said so, even when things weren't perfect. He had no reason to doubt the sincerity of Terushima's feelings, or worry about him changing his mind. I know. Thank you. For nothing. Now come on, let's try some more hairstyles before Yuji steals you for himself again. With a soft chuckle, Suguru let himself get tucked back into the chair, facing the big mirror, while Riko, apparently blessed with the same talent for hairstyling as her brother, combed his hair into yet another style, warmth spreading through his chest as they chatted along. Unsure if he should call it a rescue or not, Suguru carefully ruffled his hair while Yuji was busy leading his sisters to the door, their banter warming his heart. He wished his sister could come as well, but he understood some things just couldn't be changed. Besides, she promised to attend over camera, and his parents also promised to come. They seemed so excited too. He smiled fondly, very much looking forward to seeing his family again. Yet the warm feeling was soon joined by the familiar damp blanket of doubts gnawing deep in his mind. They were still quite early into the relationship compared to the other couples he knew, and while Terushima knew almost everything about him, including his triggers and fears, there was no saying how long he would take to overcome them. He wasn't even sure if he could manage the first kiss, probably the most important kiss in his life. Who wouldn't be annoyed by that eventually? I swear to God, they are like two tornadoes, stealing you away from me for the whole day. He wrapped himself around Suguru, snapping him out of his thoughts. I thought you had a bachelor's party. Did you not have fun? I did, but I missed you. Suguru chuckled, covering Yuji's hand. You'll have a lot of time to spend with me since tomorrow, remember? He bit hard on his lip and then leaned into the warm palm nested against his cheek. Still no change of mind? As if. We should have planned the wedding much earlier. I wouldn't have to wait for so long. You'd be impatient anyway. Probably. He became much more serious, gently squeezing Suguru's middle before moving to stand opposite of him. I'm not changing my mind, now or any time in the future. I love you, and I want to be with you until we are both old and grey. Even though I might not even be able to kiss you tomorrow. I don't care. We'll be married, that's important. He cradled Suguru's face, serious and yet strangely sorrowful. I don't want you to force yourself into anything. I know you already kissed me once before, but you don't have to the second time yet if you are scared. He should have expected an answer like this, yet hearing it from Yuji out loud still chased mist into Suguru's vision. The gentle touch on his cheeks kept him looking forward, the loveliest smile he knew pushing away all the worries so far swirling in his chest. Thank you. For nothing. Come on, let's get some dinner. We can't eat too late tonight. Right. The morning was cold but beautiful, with sun rays creating a colorful pattern on the floor of their temporary bedroom as it glowed through the red and yellow leaves just outside their window. Besides the obvious convenience, Suguru was more than glad the venue offered rooms for a rent before the event, since just the glance out of the window stole his breath. They really chose the most beautiful place to get married at, and also the most beautiful time, with the colorful leaves everywhere. He didn't have much time to enjoy the sights though, as both him and Yuji were soon thrown into the swirl of last-minute preparations and getting ready for the ceremony. You look stunning. You sure we didn't overdo it? Now I will be jealous. She said that with a big smile on her face though, obviously holding back from tearing up, urging Suguru to squeeze her hand. Thank you. Both of you. I know you didn't have to help me today again, so I really appreciate it. Oh please, of course we had to help. You're our brother-in-law. and our brother's precious Bean. Bean? That's how he calls you when he comes home. Among like 1,000 other nicknames. As embarrassing as it sounded, Suguru couldn't help the fond smile from forming on his face. Sounds like Yuji. He glanced at the clock, his heart speeding up in his chest when he realized it was almost time to go. He took one last look into the mirror, straightening the emerald green jacket around his waist before taking a deep breath. Shall we? Yes. The inside of the venue was mostly empty, with the exception of a few people from the catering, and his mother standing by the door leading to the outside area where everyone else was already gathered by the arch. You look lovely, my dear. Thank you. Is Dad here? He's with Yuji-kun and his parents. I'm guessing he wants to be surprised as well. She gave him a warm smile before hugging him briefly, only long enough he felt her love without getting uncomfortable. I can't believe you are getting married already, but we couldn't be happier about it. You chose well. Do you think so? Of course, otherwise your father would never allow it. It was only half joke knowing his family, but he knew better than anyone that his dad would just be protecting him, and he couldn't be more grateful. I'm nervous. Of course you are, darling, but that's alright. She pushed the strand of hair that fell out of his carefully created hairstyle out of his forehead. Everything gets better once you are with someone who truly loves you. Come on now, the ceremony should start soon. Moved by her words, Dasha offered her his arm and headed outside as well, finding Yuji and the rest of their parent group standing a bit aside from the other guests. Yuji flashed him the brightest smile when he spotted him, and yet Suguru was quite sure he saw his eyes glint more than usually. However, before they managed to say anything to each other, a loud voice of the officiant boomed over everyone else's, calling them to their respective places. Yet, as they made their way towards the beautifully decorated arch, Yuji leaned to his ear. Green looks so good on you. He leaned away before Suguru could respond, the heat creeping into his cheeks earning him a grin. With his heart thundering in his ears once again, he took his place opposite his future husband, only glancing over the guests for a split second, and then let Yuji capture his hands as the ceremony began. In all honesty, he couldn't focus one bit on the officiant's words, feeling slightly faint as the ceremony went on. He tried to keep his breathing even, reminding himself of his mom's words to try keeping himself calm. It wasn't fear driving his rapid heartbeat and strangling his breath, yet it felt eerily similar. But Yuji's hands held his steady, keeping them warm and his mind grounded in the moment. Is there anyone who has anything against these two men entering a marriage? Already? He glanced around the guests nervously, and then flinched when a loud boom of thunder sounded above their heads. The officiant narrowed his eyes at the sky, which was now significantly darker than when the ceremony began. Anyone else? A few people chuckled, easing the knot in Suguru's stomach. Alright then, since no one spoke against your union, I'm now happy to proclaim you husband and husband. May your journey through life be easy and full of love you already share. Collective cheers deafened him for a moment, the rush of emotions chasing tears into his eyes. And not just his by the looks of it, as Yuji also tried to inconspicuously wipe his eyes without letting go of his hands. They were married now, and it felt incredible. Please join me in a moment to sign the needed documents and... Wait. He bit the inside of his cheek, the confused look in Yuji's eyes stabbing him deep in his chest. He quickly searched for words, the officiant's speech replaying in his head over and over. They were married now, officially. They were bound together by choice and law as well. Could call each other husband. But something was missing. Are we skipping the kiss? Obviously relieved, Yuji tugged him a bit closer, letting go of his hand to cup his cheek. You looked nervous the whole time, so I requested we skip it. It's alright. We are already married. It doesn't change anything. Right. There was no need for him to push himself. Yuji understood. Always had. He didn't mind. Except... He took a shaky breath to stabilize himself, despite his determination still freezing for a split second several times before their foreheads touched. The grip on his hand tightened. You don't have to do this, love. I know. His eyes instinctively fluttered close as he leaned closer, and then shiver ran down his spine when their lips finally met. He barely heard the excited cheers around him, focused solely on the gentle touch and the fireworks in his chest it caused. A soft whine sounded from his throat when Yuji pushed back the tiniest amount before the creeping unrest forced him to pull away, his face burning but his head light. But I wanted to. He couldn't see into Yuji's face properly, but the soft sniffle told him enough. A second later, he found himself squished in his beloved's arms, the light shaking of his shoulders urging him to hug back quickly. I love you so much, you know. I love you too. They stay like that for a moment longer, while the clapping and cheers from their families still resonated through the air, and only parted when the first raindrops fell from the sky. It seems like the weather won't be in our favor anymore. May I ask everyone then to move inside? Before he even finished the sentence, the sky suddenly opened, sending chains of water on their heads. Everyone quickly scrambled and began running towards the main venue hall, yet Yuji still stopped to kiss Suguru's forehead before squealing happily and tugging him to run behind him. They still got drenched to the bone before they reached the door, but their laughter made even the cold worth it. Well, I would say it was really last second. True. I guess that's what we get for planning our wedding in October, huh? Still worth it. He grinned happily and quickly huddled Suguru in the large towel the catering people handed them. Let's just hope no one catches cold. His smile grew much softer then, as he pushed the wet hair from Suguru's eyes, his palms warming his cheeks even better than the towel. I'm so happy right now. I actually get to call you my husband. It's kinda unbelievable. Yeah, but Mom says it's soon going to settle in. Oh, for sure. But it feels amazing, you know. I know. He wished they could stay like this forever, but the shiver running through his whole body ruined the moment a little. We should probably get changed. Agreed. But take some good shoes. I'm going to take you dancing. More than a grateful smile curled Suguru's lips. That sounds wonderful. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. So yeah, obviously this isn't the end, but I still think it went out quite sweetly. And yeah, there are new challenges ahead of them. So let's follow their story and see what fate has prepared for them. And yes, I did borrow that thunder joke from who knows where. I don't know if it was a Reddit thing or something like that, but I think it's funny, so I wanted to incorporate it. If you have any requests or ideas, the request form is linked in the video description. See you next time!